Hey everybody, welcome to Real Men Craft 2. I'm Richard. It is Friday, March 28th. I'm gonna take a sip of coffee real quick. Yes, it is March 28th. Can you guys believe it? I can't. So, today we're gonna do a tutorial. Yeah, I've got some, well, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do this big 35 millimeter pendant. It's very three-dimensional. We're gonna do it in a complete different colorway as this one, but we will be using the same stone. Yes, look at every single color in the rainbows in here. Come back after the intro. Hey, welcome back everybody. So yeah, I've got a lot to do. We're gonna do this pendant from start to finish. I'm gonna flip you guys around over here, down here where I work. But first of all, I want to remind all of you, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you find yourself coming back. If you love to craft as much as I do, just hit that subscribe button. It's free. I'm gonna show you my work in progress. Yes, I've been working on this little mermaid in front of the moon, and wow, she is nothing but confetti. And I'm almost done. So I'm gonna show you guys what she looks like. She's really, really, really pretty. Now you're gonna think, wow, she's pretty busty on the left side of her body. It's not her breast. It's a crater in the moon. So look how pretty this is. Yeah, look at the details. She's really, really pretty. Yeah, it's a very pretty picture. Very, very detailed. Yeah, that's Ariel. Now, in today's mood, hang on, I'm gonna put this painting over there. Hang on just a sec. Yeah, so sorry about that. So I moved the diamond painting over there so it wasn't in the way. But in today's mood, we're gonna stay in Fantasy Friday. So yeah, I'm gonna call this pendant. Actually, the first one I did was probably, oh my God, 30 years ago? Nah, 25 years ago. Yeah, probably 30 years ago. For a dear, dear friend that I no longer have. Her name was Katie. And actually, I called this Katie's Kaleidoscope because when Katie and I went to a gem fair and I bought one of these 35 millimeter Swarovski stones. She always said, Richie, it looks like a kaleidoscope. So yeah, that's what I'm calling the pendant. I'm gonna call it Katie's Kaleidoscope. So yeah, we're gonna get to, I don't know why I keep moving my phone. We're gonna get to this. So I'm gonna move the camera up and over. And yes, this time I'm gonna try to keep my hands in focus so you can see what I'm doing. I'm not going to be zooming in and out. The camera's going to be directly over my bead space. So yeah, I will show you what I work with. My beading thread is Fireline, and I buy it in this huge 15-yard spool. This is the smoke. This is 6 pound. This is what I'm going to use today. And I'm also going to be sharing some diamond painting completions of you guys, my friends, and my subscribers. So the first one is right here. This is Donald Liston sent this to me. This is the painting, a diamond painting of the Up House. Yeah, Mr. Fredrickson attached all these balloons to his house and flew away. So this is Donald's picture that he did for his son. It's a 40 by 40. I did this painting too in a 55 by 55 for Jeremy when he was born. Now he's 4 years old. Donald, it turned out great. And Donald, I cannot find the picture that you sent me of the butterfly wing that you did for your daughter. So if you could do me a huge favor, Donald, send that back to me again in a email, and I'll share it here on the channel. And then here is Cindy Bennett and her cat Pebbles. This is their painting of Pebbles and his ice cream. Yeah, I love this diamond painting. I don't know what size it is, but Cindy and Pebbles, thank you so much for sending that in. So let's get into beading this pendant. Yeah, I'm gonna be using, well, I'll put the supplies up on the screen as we go. So just a reminder, yeah, just like, share, and subscribe. And hey, you guys, I hope you enjoyed today's pendant. We're gonna do this from beginning to finish. Yes, so here we go, you guys. Yeah, and I just used about 4 feet. And yeah, I'm gonna get you guys moved over here and we're gonna start on this. So here we go, you guys. Let's get to beading. Yeah, right down here. Okay, so I want you guys to ignore these 3 colors over here because these are not going to be used in today's project. These are for a rope and a necklace that I'm doing back here in a twisted herringbone spiral. So this is what we're going to be doing. Yeah. So this, as you can see, I'll zoom in here a little bit. This is very three-dimensional. Yes, it's very three-dimensional. It's very, it's about 1.75 inches. And yeah, we're gonna be doing that in these colors today. So we are going to be doing, Let's see, how can I do this? These people that do beading videos have got their lighting and everything just perfect. Plus, they probably don't use camera phones. So I'm going to be using this size 8 seed bead. This is a silver. This is a Miyuki. This is a size 8. This is a silver. Actually, this is a matte opaque, very pretty violet lavender. Here's a size 11 silver, size 11 permanent galvanized. Here's a silver lined turquoise, a silver lined lime, and this is a size 11. That is a really pretty, like AB greenish blue kind of. And then here's a hot pink lined like a pomegranate wine, like a pomegranate color. So we're gonna start out. I'm gonna try to see if I can get no shadows, but it's not gonna work because I have to use a magnifying light. Yeah, I have to use a magnifying light because I need it for my vision. Yeah, when you've done beading, let me see. When you've done beading as long as I have, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna start out by doing a bezel around here. A bezel is what encases the crystal, the stone. So we're gonna start that by we're gonna pick up, I'm gonna move these beads over here a little bit. So I like to start out by putting a stopper bead on. You do that by sliding it down. We're only gonna leave about a 4-inch tail. And we're gonna go back through that bead one more time. Now, I'm gonna pick up 56 beads. You can count these out ahead. You can do them in groups of 28 if you want. So I've got 1, 2, I'm just gonna count out 56. And I know I'm gonna be bumping my camera. Let's see if I can pull this back a little bit. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I'm gonna put on 56 and I'll be right back. Okay, so we're gonna recount our beads. I've already counted them, so I do know there's 56, but I'll show you guys. So we're just gonna go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 52, 54, 56. Now, what you're gonna wanna do, we are going to want to go back through these beads, but we're only gonna have to do it, I just like to go up doesn't matter how many you go up. You can go through all of them if you want. we're going to be doing peyote stitch. So what this does, gives us a ring of beads, okay? Now, I don't like to go super tight when I start my peyote. So I just like to go through about half of them, just like that. And what we're doing, we're building a ring to encase the stone like this. So here we go, we're gonna do peyote stitch. So if you've never done peyote stitch, we're gonna pick up a bead, skip this bead, and go into the next one. And we're gonna do this all the way around. So now you can pick up 28 beads. You can count out 28 beads. And when you get 28 beads on, you know you've done a whole round. Now it's gonna make this little scissor, or not scissor, like a zipper stitch. And that's what you want. So you wanna make sure you just skip the next bead, go into the one right after that. Pick up a bead, skip that bead, go into that bead. So we're gonna skip one and go into the next. I like to hold my beadwork between my thumbs, just to hold tight. We're gonna do this all the way around. Okay, and I'll be right back. Okay, so you can tell, I'm gonna lay this back down. I've gone all the way around once, and I have one left to put on. So you're gonna notice that it looks like, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, all the way around. So when we do this last one, you're gonna think, okay, Richard, I have 2 beads here. Which one am I gonna go into? Just like before, we're gonna skip this one and go into this last bead, okay? Now when you pick it up, it's gonna pop right into place. Now to start that round, we're gonna go into, see how this little bead sticks out here? We're gonna go through that sticky outy bead. Now, you can hold this on your finger. I like to hold it on my finger. And we're gonna place a bead all the way around in these indents. So you can pick out 28 again. So we're gonna do this 2 more times. We're gonna do it once here on the outside, and then we're gonna stitch in and do one on the left side. So we're gonna put one here and a row here, okay? The reason I like to do that way is because this won't pucker. And you'll see what I'm talking about here in a minute. So here we go. We're gonna put another row on the outer edge, okay? So, once again, we're gonna pick up a bead. Now this is easy because you don't have to count. We're just gonna go in that next sticky outy bead right there. And now it's gonna give us 1, 2, 3, 4. See those 4 beads right there? Gonna pick up a bead, go through that next sticky outy. Pick up a bead, go through that next sticky outy. Now you guys are gonna think, Richard, this is way too hard for me to do. I've actually taught this to people that have only beaded once or twice. It's not as hard as it looks. So we're gonna do this all the way around with our 28 beads. Okay. So I'm gonna put these on, and I'll be right back. Oop, I just dropped my needle. Well, I dropped my thread. I didn't drop my needle. So we're going to put the rest of these on, and I'll be right back. Okay. Okay, so I'm down to my last 3 beads. So we're going to pick up a bead, go right into here. And you're going to notice that it's like starting to make a bowl. It's starting to, you know, that's what we want, because we're going to take this stone and we're going to lay that stone right in there and draw it up around the sides. So I've got 2 more to put on. 1. And then once again, when we get to the end, you're going to say, I don't have enough beads. Yeah, you do. So right here, you guys can hear the cat. We're going to go through that one. And that is our 4th row. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way around. 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. Okay. So to put on the last round, once again, this is just the last round in silver. We're gonna go up. We're gonna step up that first bead so we can put the next round on. Now, you can hold this flat on your fingers like this, or you can turn it inside out. Like I always tell you guys, I always like to bead away from me. So now we're going to do this one more time. So now if you can visualize this again, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 zigzag up and down. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's how we know how many rows we've done. When we put our next 28 on, once again, we're going to pick up a bead, go right through that sticky outie. Now watch what it's going to do. It's going to give us 5, 3, and 2. So this shows you that we're on round 5. Yep. So we're going to do this all the way around with 28 more beads. And I'll be right back. See how I like to stitch away. Yep, I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm right here to where I only have 2 more beads. So we're going to put the second to the last one on. We're going to pick up the last one, which is bead number 28. We're going to go through that one and the very first one of this row. So now if you look, we've got 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2 all the way around. Okay. So now we're going to get rid of this beginning tail here. So I'm just going to take my needle off of my thread, off of my working thread. I'm going to stick it on the tail right here. Now, we're just going to hide this thread. So I'm going to go diagonally through 3 beads. And then I'm going to come back 3 beads. Now, think of it as hiding your sewing thread. Yeah. And I just skipped that bead. Oops. I just like to go through 8 or 9 beads, back and forth. Now you can tie a 1/2 inch knot around your thread. I don't like to. I just burn my thread off right there. And then if you see that little tiny black thread right there, I just burn that down. Let's see, where is it? It's hard to see black. So I'm going to thread my working thread back on here. Okay, so I'm going to put my needle back on my working thread. Thread's coming out of this bead right here, away from me. That's what I want. So I'm going to put my thread back on my needle. So, if you look at the back of this, now you're going to see the back of this is green. I just coated it with some green nail polish so that back, see how the back of the stone has a surface? You don't want that to scratch off. This one's already been coated with clear nail polish. So now what we're going to do is draw this up. So we're going to go from these big size 8 seed beads down to a size 11. Now I'll show you with these colors, you can see the difference. Huge difference. See this 8? The silver is an 8. And then these purples are an 11. So what we're going to do, once again, we're going to use 28 beads. You can count out the 28 beads of the next color you want to put on, or you don't have to. I'm going to do silver. So we're going to pick up one, go through that sticky outie. I'll take that off. Let me do a different color just so you can see it. So I'm going to put on a different color so you can see the change of the stitch better. So we're coming out of that 11, which is the silver. I'm going to pick up, let's go, I'll just pick up a purple at random so you can see the difference. So we're going to pick up 28 of them. Once again, we're going through that sticky outie bead, which is right there. Now you're gonna notice this is gonna start drawing in. That's what you want it to do. So it's gonna go from that big bead down to an 11. So yes, when you pull, it's gonna pucker and it's gonna start drawing that in. That's what you want. So I'll be right back. Okay. So I took those purple beads off because I want to have the back all silver. Now I've put on 27 beads. I'm getting ready to put on my 28th bead. So if you look right here, I'm going to go into this size 8, which is the last bigger size bead of the previous round. I'm going to pop in that last bead. Now you can see that it's already starting to pucker, starting to draw in, which was what we want. Now, we're coming out of this last big size bead, okay? To start putting on one more row of silver 11s, we're gonna go right forward through the first 11 that we put on in this round, which was bead number 1. Now you're gonna notice that the sticky outy beads are smaller. That's because we went from a big bead down to a smaller bead. So we're gonna do one more round of size 11 in whatever color you're using. So we're gonna go skip that big fat bead and go into the first size 11, okay? You're always gonna catch your thread, it seems like. So now they're back to kind of sticky outy. So now I'm gonna put on 27 more. 2. 3. 4. Remember, this is gonna really draw up now, okay? And we're gonna do this till we have all 28 beads on. Okay. So as you pull tight, see how that's drawing up? That's exactly what you want. So it's gonna hold that stone in there. Let me get rid of my needle. It's gonna hold that stone just like when you open a Reese's peanut butter cup, how it sits in that little tray. These beads are gonna do the same thing around this big stone. So, I'll be right back. So you don't have to watch me put these 28 beads on. Or you can if you want. Remember, we're only going through the size 11. So yeah, I know it was easier to see with the purple. And I know you're gonna say, you're telling yourself, Richie, how do I know if I make a mistake? You're gonna know because it's gonna sit really weird, like I'll show you. Okay, say if you were to accidentally pick up 2. See how it's gonna make that little dome? You don't want that. So I'm gonna take one off. I've done it many, 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 many times. But I've been beading so long I could do this in my sleep. Now, I always recommend using Fireline for something like this. You can use a cotton thread or a rayon, but they're stretchy. Yeah, they're stretchy. So you're not going to get this nice tight. You're going to get it even tighter. So it might, and it's easier to split your thread with your needle, and then you just have a mess. So I don't recommend using those softer, stretchy cords for this. I like to use Fireline or any other kind of fused thread. Potomac Bead has their dragon thread or dragon fire or whatever. I've never used it. So I'm coming to the end here. And I'll come back when I'm right at the end. Okay, so I'm down to my last bead of this round. So I'm gonna skip that size 8, go into this 11. That's gonna fill in all 28 spaces. Now, I want you to go through the very first one of this round so we can draw this tight. Okay. Now, when you lay this down, you're gonna have like a little cup. See that right there? Here's the back. The back is even pretty. Yeah. Yep. So we're going to take our stone out. Now, if you want to, if you feel comfortable, you can go through just that round you put on if you want to draw this up a little bit. I don't do that. So, we need to bring our thread from this side over to this side. So we're just gonna take our needle, we're gonna work through these beads diagonally. 1, 2, 3. See how I'm just going diagonally? Just like that. And then I'm gonna flip this over in my hand because we're gonna work away from us. So I'm coming out of this bead right here. I'm coming out of it this way though, toward me. See that? So I'm just gonna lay this thread right here, go through this one. Okay. Now we have one more round. We're gonna go back up to the bigger bead, the size 8, because we need 6 rounds. Remember, we have 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're gonna put one more round of the bigger beads on. Now this is where I like to switch to a second color. So I'm gonna switch to this really pretty lavender. So I'm gonna count out 28 and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've got 27 of my 28 lavender beads on. So I'm gonna pick up the last one. Now you're gonna notice that we're getting fingerprints on this. There's no way to get around that. We'll get rid of them as we start. So we're gonna put this last bead on. We're gonna place this bead right there in that, see that little, looks like a missing tooth? So we're gonna go through that silver one and right up through that first purple one. Now in the beading world, we call that a peyote step up. Now it's gonna start puckering and closing up. See how the back is nice and closed up? We're gonna do that to the front. So this is our 6th row of size 8s, and we can tell that by counting the side. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can keep this the same color as your base. I like to have a lot of color in these pendants. Yeah, so it's kind of ruffly loosey, but we're gonna tighten this up. So now this is when, if you're using a stone that has a hole in it like this one does, don't worry about it because we're gonna cover that hole up. So you're gonna notice it's kind of hard to hold this and go this way. This is where I just rotate and come toward me to draw and pull. You're gonna draw toward you. So I'm done with my 8s for just a moment, okay? Because we're gonna draw this up. And we're gonna draw that up by doing 4 rows of size 11s. So in this one, you're gonna notice I did a purple, a Caledon green, a turquoise, and then a hot pink. Okay, we did 4 rounds of 11 to close this up. So I'm gonna pick my next color that I want to use. I think I'm gonna go this purple, and then I'm gonna do this blue, this, no, let me see. Let's try this hot pink, this hot fuchsia first. Actually, I'm gonna go from lavender to this really pretty purple. Yeah, so this is the first round of 11s. I've got 5 colors. I'm just gonna try them out and pick the one that I like the best. So right here, I'm just gonna go into these lavenders that are sticking out and see how that draws up nice and tight right there. We're gonna do this all the way around. Two, 3, 4. We're gonna do this all the way around with 28 beads. Okay, so I'm gonna come right back as I get closer to the end round. Okay, so as you can tell here, I've got 27 of my 28 11s in. It's nice and uniformly puckered and gathering and closing up. Now, as you notice, you're gonna notice that this wants to still cattywampously slide around. It's gonna do that until we, put, our final round in here. Okay. So we're gonna put this last bead on right there between the 2 lavenders. So it's gonna go right in there. So I'm gonna go through the 8, which is that lavender, and up through the first one. Oh, and I got 2 beads on there, dang it. So let's take one of those off. Now we're still going to do 3 more rounds of 11. Now, this is where you can get creative. You can do, now what? Wait, here's what I was talking about, showing you how we can take our fingerprints off. Yeah. So they're going to get right back on there. Now you can do another row of the same color, which is going to give you like a zigzag, an up and down of the same color like this. I like to change every round. Yeah, I like to change every row. I'll show you what it looks like if you use the same color. See that? We won't see the thread because see, we're gonna pull in tight. So you can do the same color, but I'm gonna switch up. Yeah. I kind of like that look, but I'm gonna switch up. I'm gonna go from the purple to this dark pink. Yeah, I'm gonna go into this magenta color. Yeah, I like that. Now, this is where buying better quality seed beads, just like any, we all know better quality of yarn. We all know better quality of diamond paintings. Yeah, a better quality seed bead is going to make a nicer peyote. You can buy inexpensive or what I call cheap seed beads or beads in general. You can't go to the Dollar Tree or Walmart and buy your beads unless they're a name brand seed bead. I only use Toho or Miyuki. They're Japanese seed beads. They come in many different sizes. So see, I really like the look of that. It brings out the hot pink in the stone. So I'm gonna put the rest of these on and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm down to my 27th bead. I'm getting ready to place my last one on. Now, I am a right-handed beader. I always like to stitch away from me. I'm gonna change my bead direction here because I don't like stitching toward me, and I'm going to show you how to do that. There's the last bead. Okay. Now you're going to notice that this wants to move around on you. That's normal until we tighten it up. We have 2 more rounds to go. Now, here's how I change my direction. As you can tell, the thread's coming toward me. I'm going to lay this thread over, right? And I'm going to just change directions. Okay. So I'm going to go into the previous row, the row before this, back up in to these beads. So what I'm doing, I'm getting this thread to go back around this direction so I can work a better tension on my piece, okay? So now as you can see, my thread is now going away from me. It's going counterclockwise. Now we're gonna put on our third color. So I'm going from this hot pink. I think I wanna go to this iridescent, really pretty blue. Yeah, I like that a lot. So now I'm gonna go all the way around with my third color, going through the magenta. Now, as you can tell, it's tightening up really, really nice. And with my thread going away from me, I can control my tension better, which is what I like. So we're gonna work this whole row on of this really pretty iridescent blue-green, and I'll be right back. Okay. I'm down to my last bead. I'm gonna put the last bead on, so I'm gonna go through that magenta and then step up through that first one of this round. Now we're on our last row. And we can count our rows by counting our 11s. So we've got the lavender, which was 1, magenta 2, blue is 3. We're gonna put the last color. I'm gonna go, let's see if I like this silver line turquoise, or nope, I wanna go the green. So I'm gonna move some of these beads over. I'm just gonna move these lime greens here. I could count out 28 if I wanted, but I don't need to. So now we're gonna put on our lime green. Ooh, I love that. Don't want to catch my thread. Yep, I like the lime green. So once again, we're just going through the sticky outies of the previous color, which were my my translucent blue. So I'm putting on that green, and I'll come right back. Okay, I took that green off because, well, I'm going to show you why. It was sometimes with a silver line bead, excuse me, you're going to find that they can be a little bit bigger of a bead. So I took it off because it was puckering, it was rippling. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put one every other space. So to do that, instead of just not putting a bead here, otherwise my thread would show, I have to go through the fuchsia and then through the next blue. Now, when I put a bead there, watch what it does. See, it lays a lot nicer. And it kind of gives it a picot point. So let's place one there. We're going to go up through the magenta and the teal or turquoise. Go through the magenta and the teal. Let's place another green right there. See, now I can keep my tension better. So we're gonna go up through the magenta and that iridescent. I like this look a lot better. So I'm going to finish this round and I'm going to come right back. So I finished that round of greens. Now, if you notice, it came out perfect spacing. That's because we used an even amount. We started out with 56 beads. So if I skipped one, it still took me down from 28 down to 14 beads. So that's the good thing about doing even count. Now, we are going to I'm going to move this little smaller size 15 bead out of the way so I don't accidentally pick it up. I had grabbed a 15 because a 15 is a lot smaller bead, but I didn't like the vibrancy of that color wasn't there. So I really wanted to stay with that silver line green. It's kind of really peacockish, huh? So now we're gonna go to the outer edge up here, and we're going to do what we call a stitch in the ditch. So now a stitch in the ditch is, see where this gold bead right here is popping up, forming this little ridge? We're going to place that bead in there. And I'm going to show you how to do it. It's really easy. So this is going to be a size 11, okay? So you're going to want to pick a color that really pops. So where we're going to place these is between these size 8 lavender beads, okay? So we're just going to work our thread diagonally through our beads, okay, to where we get to one of these lavender size 8s right there. Now, what stitch in the ditch is, that little space right here, we're going to place a bead right in there, okay? So I think I'm going to use this bright silver lined teal. So we're going to go from this lavender bead to this lavender bead. Pop that bead right there. See how it pops right in there? And we're going to do this all the way around. Actually, I could do the green there. I could do the green there. It would show up better, I think. Yeah, I'm going to do the green there, I think. Yeah, I'm gonna go the green. So let's take this one off. Let's take this one off. And let's take this one off. Because you guys know me in lime green. Plus, if you look on the inside of the stone down in there, there's that green and we're kind of losing it. So I'm going to thread my needle back. And let's pop this green in here and see if what it looks like. I think it's going to show up a lot better. Yep. Love it. So I'm going to pop 28 of these in. And you only want to go through where your 8s are. That's the only bead you want to go through, because otherwise your thread's going to show. And if you have to go diagonally through the bead. You don't want to break a bead. Beads are glass and they do break. Many times. And those of you that have taken personal classes with me, we've all broken beads. Yeah. So here we go. I'm going to come right back. Okay, so I'm getting ready to place my last bead in here. So we just did that little ridge of size 11s stitched in the ditch. So now there's that round. Cool, huh? So now we're going to move forward diagonally through these beads. And if you look, see how there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows? Remember when we did these 5 rounds of size 8s? I want you to go up through 2 of them diagonally, just like that. Okay. And then we're going to go through 1 more. So you're going to be coming out. See the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're going to be coming out right here of the middle one. Yep, you're going to be coming out of that middle one. And we're going to do another stitch in the ditch row. But this time, we're going to go back to this big size 8, okay? Now, you can use the first color you used, or you can use the second. I'm going to go back to my silver. So, I'm going to move some of these beads. I'm going to move this green out of the way. Now I could go that lavender, but I'm going to stay with the silver, the metallic. I only need 28 of them. So here we go. We're going to do another stitch in the ditch. So we're coming out of that middle. We're going to pick up a size 8 and we're going to go right to the next middle. Just like that. And we're going to pop that into the place. So we're going to do it again. So we're going to go from this middle right to this next middle. See that? Just like that. We're going to do that all the way around. 3, 4, Butters is driving me crazy. He's screaming for food. So see how it's making that? Yeah, it's kind of like a big Ferris wheel. I'm going to do that all the way around, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm going to put the last 3 on with you guys. I'm going to pick up one, go right through that. Next middle one, pick it up, right there. Now, as you can tell, we have one more space. We're going to go right through that middle one. Now, as you can tell, I moved forward because I want to go through this one. And then I'm just working forward through the beads. To come out of one of the ones we just placed. Okay. Now, as you can see, you can leave it like this if you want. Of course, you know me, I'm not going to. I'm going to put this little ridge of 11s right here. So, as you can see, my thread is pretty short. So I am going to work this thread into my beadwork by following the thread path. I'm going to work back and forth through the beads. And you can go through the beadwork as long as you don't catch your thread on any beads. And I'm going to burn this thread off. Now you want to go through at least 10, 12 beads so you do not cut your thread too short. Because yes, with beadwork, if you don't tie off your thread or work it in far enough, just like in crocheting, it can come unraveled. And after you've put all this work into this, you do not want your thread to come unraveled. So now you can see these beads are going to be loose. They're not going to, because we're going to put that little ridge on. So I'm going to burn this thread off. Butters is not happy with me right now because he wants dinner. It's way too early. Right here, I'm going to burn. Let's take off our fingerprints. Look how pretty this is, you guys. It's really, really pretty. Looks like a peacock eye. Yeah, it's quite a piece of jewelry. So I'm gonna work in a new thread. I'm gonna work in the new thread just like we tied off the old one. No butters, that's not to play with, sorry. This cat is so mad at me. Okay, so I added my thread. Okay, so remember how we were coming out of this this edge right here? My bead still is. I want you to go forward just like this. Now you might have to move your needle around. We're gonna go up through this one. And then right through this one. So I'll show you which bead we're coming out of. See this row right here in front of where these, see this little bridge? It's the one directly right in front of it. See how it's lined up with every single one? We're just gonna come out of one of those. And see this little stitch in the ditch right here? Right, you'll see where the needle is. See that gap where the needle is right there? We're gonna put 3 beads in there. Now this is where I like to pick up some color. So you don't have to, you can just do silver, you can leave it like this, but I'm gonna add this ray of sunshine. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. I just pulled my needle off like a dumb head. So watch what this does. I'm gonna finally put this turquoise color in here. So I'm gonna pick up the purple, a turquoise, and a purple, just like this. See this? We're gonna go from this one right to the next one. And pop that right there. See how it makes that little picot? So one more time, we're gonna go purple, turquoise, purple, go right directly across into the next one. See how that makes that pretty little, yep. So I'm gonna do that all the way around. So watch, purple, purple, stitch in the ditch, go right to the next one. See that? And make sure it pops into place. Now we're gonna do that all the way around and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm almost done here. I've only got like 3 more to go. So I wanna show you guys something. When you do these picots, you wanna make sure that when you go through this size 8, the stitch in the ditch, you want to pop. You're going to hear it pop, but you want to pop this middle bead up so it makes that perfect little picot. Yeah, that little, you don't want it to lay flat. You want that middle bead to pop right up there. So we're going to do the last 2. Purple, turquoise, purple. Move the needle around a little bit. Pop that. See, this is what I was talking about. You don't want it to be flat like this. You want that middle bead to just pop up, just like that. Now we're going to do this last one right here. Purple, turquoise, purple. It's going to kind of be hard to see, but we're going to go into this bead, stitch in the ditch, just like before. Okay. We're going to pop this last one into place. I just took a break because I had to feed the dog and cat, and Bruce is finishing up for me. So we are done. So we want to get this keep centered. Okay. Now we're going to put our bail on. Our bail sits right up here. Okay. Now to do this, we need to come back out of these size 8s that are along this edge, okay? Now if you look on this one, we're gonna go from, let me grab a different needle. I'll grab my bit. So we're gonna go from this 8 right here. We're gonna skip over this 8 and go into that 8. And we do that by picking up 4 of one color, a 5th, and then 4 of the color again. Okay? So I like to use a color that stands out. Normally on this one, I would be using the teal, okay? But I'm gonna go back and get that pop of green in there. So we're gonna work our thread back right here where I put this last picot right here, okay? I'm just gonna go up through these beads, and I just want to make sure I'm coming out of that edge 8 back here. Remember those ones that we did around when we did the Ferris wheel? So we're just going to go from this one, we're going to skip this one, and we're going to go into the next 8. So we're going to do that very, very easily. So I'm going to bring some of this green back. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Let's go teal. I'm going to string on the bail. And we're going to go into this one. And like a dumbhead, I didn't pick up the second 4 greens. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go into this. Now, if you don't like that color you've chosen, which I do, I like that a lot. I'm going to flip this over and work from the back. So now what we need to do, we need to go through here and reinforce this, But when we reinforce it, we're going to skip that middle bead, and I'll show you why. So we're just going to work our thread through these beads. We're going to pull. It's kind of hard to see with these silver beads. And if you have to go through one bead at a time, go through one bead at a time. So now I'm right here. I'm going to go up through the first. I'm going to flip it back over to the front. We're going to go up through the first 4 beads, which are my green. We're going to skip the that turquoise one, the middle bead, and I'll show you why. When we skip it, it makes one of those little picots that pops out. So we're going to skip the teal and go down the last 4 green beads. Now watch. When we pull that into place, perfect little picot. See it? Once again, we're going to reinforce by going through the beads. Zero, did you eat dinner? Good boy, buddy. Sorry, guys, I'm talking to my dog. You guys, I'm really, really, really proud of you guys, those of you that tried this. It's actually not as hard as it looks. It's just time consuming. You guys have to realize beadwork is just not something that, oh, you're going to spend 15, 20 minutes on. I mean, unless you're doing a non-fancy pair of earrings. But do I do anything that's not fancy? No. So that's it, you guys. I'm going to tie this thread off. Or I take that back. I'm not going to tie this thread off. I'm going to burn my thread off. So I'm going to do a little bit more reinforcing here. I'm working the thread through 8 or 9 beads. And when you guys hold this piece of jewelry, this necklace in your hand, you're going to feel a substantial piece of jewelry in your hands. I'm just working the thread through the beadwork. You don't want to skip any beads. There we go. Because if you skip a bead, your thread's going to show. And there we go. Now watch, I'm gonna backtrack through a couple beads. I'm gonna use my thread burner. Okay, you guys, there is your beautiful, beautiful pendant. Yep. Now we're going to take off our fingerprints. You can use a microfiber cloth. I'm just using my glass cleaning cloth. Now look. Is this gorgeous or what? Yeah, I say or what. It's beautiful, you guys. And hey, you made it. You guys, I'm Richard with Real Men Craft 2. Take care, stay bright, stay blingy and creative. Don't forget what you put into this necklace. It's nothing that you're just going to charge $5 or $6 for. These stones can run you anywhere from $7 all the way up to $48, $50, depending on whether it's a real Swarovski, how many facets it has. And hey, you guys, you can string any chain through here. You can make a beaded rope. Yep, like I've done on the channel. You guys have seen it. And you guys, take care. Remember, this is a handmade beaded piece of jewelry. Do not sleep in it. Do not wear it in the shower, and do not wear it in a swimming pool. Take care, you guys. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.